Hello, and welcome to How To. This week, we will be doing how to fold a sheet. You begin by mathematically writing the exact proportions of your sheet on to a whiteboard to do some basic math. Now, to start with, you must draw two vertical lines. So, just to make it as difficult as possible, I will draw them both over here. Next, you will draw a line from one corner to the opposite corner, that being the top left to the bottom right. Next, you will make two horizontal lines parallel to the top and bottom through these 2 points. And then you can draw a line going from this point perpendicular to this line. Next, you can go over here and draw an eyeball, and you notice that the pen is drawn to make the eyeball look a certain way. So you will draw the line from the eyeball to where the eyeball wants to look, which just happens to be right here. Now you will also draw lines from the eyeball to this point, as well as this point, and this point. Now everything is emanating from the eyeball. You may draw a line from here to here, and as well as a vertical line perpendicular to this far line, aligned with the tip of the eyeball. Now that you have this basic central square, you can draw another line from the top right of that square to the bottom left. Now you have this point, this point, this point, this point, the eye, and this point. Now that you have a basic square, you need to cut it down to a triangle. The way you can do that is to go to this point and connect it to both the eyeball and this point over here. Now, the next thing you need to do is to draw a line from the eyeball to the place where you messed up drawing this line over here. And that will result in, once you have drawn this line, another point connected to the eyeball and this point. Make another point here, and now you have a diamond with this in the center. Now, you take this point and you draw a line to the eyeball, but this time curved. Once you have drawn this curved line, you can then draw a line from here to any point on the bottom. Now you can draw a line from here, curving outside, and then coming around the board, and let the pen draw to where you messed up on that line previously. Now you have this larger shape, and now you must give it a mouth. Now you see the eyeball acts as the center for the mouth, and now that you can give it teeth, you can see that the eyeball was always pointing to this being the eyeball. Now that that has made the eyeball, you can give it some hair and see that this forms his nose. Now because this is his nose, it must have a nostril under it. There you have the nostril. Now that you have this loosely defined nostril, you can draw a line from here to the inside of the nostril, and then you see that we have formed his tongue. Now his tongue comes out to touch this point, and you see we have the defined parts of the inside of his nostril, the bottom of his mouth, and this center point, as well as this point at the tip of his tongue. Now you can draw a line curving through there, loosely, and a straight line, and the difference between those happens to be exactly half the width of his tongue, making it very easy to just extend the tongue past this. And now that you have this smaller diamond, look at right in the center of the diamond, and there you have the middle of this sheet. Now that you have found the middle of the sheet, you must draw parallel lines from this side and this side. Now that you have cut the man's face in half, he is not very happy, so we will appease him with a cheeseburger. Very lightly drawn cheeseburger. Now that your pen has run out, you can switch back to your other pen and fill in the cheeseburger. This will appease the man, and then he will go to sleep. Now that this man is asleep, you can cut his whole face in half lengthwise. Now the spot where his jaw is interrupted can form the center for this smaller eighth. So drawing a line from there to there, you will now fold on this line, with the back of his mouth extending as a corner. Now that the sheet has come up, you can then fold it over to this corner. Once the sheet is folded, then you can fold it this corner over to the man's eye, and then picking up the fabric there, fold it over to the original eyeball. Now that everything has met at the original eyeball, you can then fold this corner and wave it around until you wake up the man. Now that he is awake, he is extremely angry, so he will try to lick you up. Now that the man you have drawn on your blanket is trying to lick you, you must fire your eyeball laser into his tongue to destroy it. Now that his tongue has been destroyed, you can see that the exact center is the center we needed all along. Now that you have that, we have vertical and horizontal axes. This corner down here, coming up to here, the man's eye is this point. The point where all of these lines, including the original line from the eye, meet. And this point, where the eye also drew to. Now, you have these 4 points, and you can then draw a line connecting each of them. Now you can fold the remaining blanket into fourths, and then into fourths again. This has been how to fold a blanket. Thank you.